everybody watching. Yeah, both of you. Hi, it's the Nightly Draw live. It's live for now, for the 16th of June. And I'm glad you're here. I'm glad we're here. I'm glad we're up and running. And it's looking like we are running. And the stream looks good. So YouTube's happy. And if YouTube's happy, I'm happy. Especially after the last couple of attempts at this. How you doing? It's the Nightly Draw. I'm John Lotshaw, the crackpot cartoonist. You can tell I'm the crackpot cartoonist because it says so on television. And if you can't trust what it says on television, well, where can you trust, right? Anyway, I'm doing good here. I'm looking over here because the computer that I'm using to broadcast this, the laptop is sitting right over here. And again, I've been rambling about this, wanting to move things around, but for now, it's over there. So I have to keep looking over there and see. Hey, if you're watching, say something in the chat so I can see that you're there, and we'll start moving forward with things. I'm glad that we're actually able to broadcast, because it's we had a lot of thunderstorms move through here at stately Lotshaw Manor, just like within the hour. Some real big, heavy thunderstorms, like the ones that took out the cable connection earlier last week. No, geez, when was that? Not last week. 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago, Memorial Day. But yeah, so two of the regulars I see are saying something. So there they are. Hey guys, welcome back. Okay, so let's get some of the obligatory things out of the way. I gotta talk about things like the Patreon. And I know you guys who are watching it right now have heard this before, but bear with me. This is for people who may be watching this on YouTube, who haven't gotten the full thing, the full spiel. But Patreon is where most of the support for Accidental Centaurs hopefully will be coming from. Patreon just revamped their site and a whole lot of new things that they're going to be adding. They changed the logo, so I've got to redo this graphic. Thanks, guys. As soon as I put a graphic up, they changed the logo. So wouldn't you know that? Wouldn't that be the way that it is? But there are multiple levels of support, multiple levels of rewards for that support. New strips for Accidental Centaurs will be seen first through Patreon. They'll be posted onto Patreon, and then when the story is complete, then it'll go to accidentalcentaurs.com. So please, if you want to see the new strips, the ones that I've been drawing here, those will be available to the patrons at $5 a month and above. There's also a lot of other benefits, and you can go over to the address there, patreon.com/Accidental Centaurs, and see all of the details of the different levels of membership. And also there is the Facebook page, which is obviously facebook.com/Accidental Centaurs. That's where announcements for things like the drive for members on the subscriptions on YouTube, things like that. When these broadcasts will be made, other shows, things like that, that'll be made available through the Facebook page, and you can sign up there. Also, I don't have a graphic for it. I should, but I will. There's the YouTube subscriptions. Please, would love to have you subscribe to YouTube. Because I need the subscriptions for YouTube. And once we hit 100, we get a YouTube channel that isn't looking like my dog walked all over the keyboard, actually be a human readable URL and other tools to help with the promotion of Accidental Centaurs and these broadcasts. So if you could just click the subscription button to subscribe. Doesn't cost anything. I really would appreciate it, and it will help me out immensely. And yeah, I got your message, Tom. That's okay. I hope you're feeling better. Get to feeling better. I understand. Rather have you feeling better than listening to stuff that I've gone over a million times like this. There's the books. The books are the collections. These are, the first book is the first 3 stories. Accidents Happen. I should know this by now. Accidents Happen, The Accidental Unicorn, and Pointing Hooves. These editions are available through Lulu. They are beautifully printed, full color, which is why they're so expensive, books. I could have done this a lot, the price would be a lot cheaper, but the books just wouldn't look as good. So I decided, I'm going to go ahead and go with the color, because you are getting some quality with it. There are 2 books out right now. This is Volume 1, and that's the wrong one. And there's Volume 2. Volume 2 is the full graphic novel of Dictating the Course. 100 pages, full color again. Looks great. Great paper, great printing. And then as you kind of got a little sneak peek of, there are the adult books. There's the Naughty Bits, More Naughty Bits, and Attack of the Naughty Bits. And those are, again, also available on Lulu at a different URL, slightly different URL. And, again, full color, very nice printing, worth every cent. Also, there are full digital versions that are cheaper, also available through the same URLs, because we don't have to ship out dead trees, of course. So there that is. Live appearances. I need to make up a new one because I have a new live appearance. I'll talk about that in a moment. But DragonCon is coming up September 1st through 4th here in Atlanta. Looking forward to it. Again, as I've said, I will be next to Bill Holbrook and Tom Heiges from Hogan's Alley, which, again, I need to do another spiel on because I just love that magazine, and I think everybody should be subscribing to it. It's a great magazine. And next time I'm going to bring my copy, and I'll probably do a little spiel about it. But it's a fantastic magazine, great guys that I'm going to be with. Looking forward to it. 4 days and of pure geekery, and of course that picture doesn't even do justice to the crowds that are going to be at DragonCon. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. But that's going to be September 1st through 4th, Labor Day weekend here in Atlanta. The new one, and again, I don't have graphics. I should have made graphics up, but I didn't. Will be the Atlanta Comic Convention. This will be July 2nd, and it'll be here in Atlanta at the Marriott and Century Center. That's at Interstate 85 and Claremont Road. It's a one-day show, and I'll be there with all my wares. And I hope that if you are in the Atlanta area, come out there. It's a great little show. It's all comics. There's a lot of local comic creators that will be there. There's also a lot of comic book shop vendors, which have books, collectibles, things like that in the main showroom. It's $5 to get in. There's a raffle. They'll be raffling something off. I don't know what they're going to... Oh, I know what they're raffling off. They're raffling off DragonCon tickets. 2 full tickets to DragonCon. So come on by. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Like I said, that's July 2nd, which is a Sunday, and come by and say hi. And I'm really excited about it because they have these shows every quarter, and I usually go to the show. Just go. This is the first time I've actually been able to have a table, but I usually go to the shows on Super Bowl Sunday. because it's not like I'm going to be watching the football game. Because with me, it's like Super Bowl. Didn't they have one of those last year? Why are they had one last year? Why are they doing that again? Go fig. So I usually go and hang out there, and it's usually and it's just an old style comic book show. So I highly recommend you going, and it's going to be a lot. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Some of the things that I'll have there, I'll have my books. I'll have comic books like this. I've got to reorder episode 1, issue 1. Not episode 1, issue 1. Who do you think you are, George Lucas? I got to reorder issue 1. And then, but I'll have all of these out there available. I will also have. I'm also going to make some of these for Accidental Centaurs. These are little notebooks that I made. These are just little fit in your pocket notepads. I made up some. I actually have a couple that are prototypes for Centaurs. I'm going to make some. These were for Random Acts of Nancy, and I have lots of them. See, lots of them. And I have them in a little convenient little pack here. The Note-O-Matic. Random Act of Nancy Note-O-Matic. These are all handmade. And this is handmade by skilled craftsmen using ancient techniques handed down from the Aztecs. Sanitized for your protection. He's got the little wrapper to sanitize it for you. Your mileage may vary. Lather, rinse, repeat, and not to be used internally. Yes, do not take these internally. You have to call poison control if you do. But they come in these little 3 packs and shrink wrapped and everything. But I do also have individual ones. I'm going to make some for Accidental Centaurs as well. It's really easy to make them. I've got some nice photo paper that'll make some nice covers. So I'll have those. This will be kind of a little dry run for Dragon Con. So, okay. Let's see what we've got here. Too much info. Yeah, I know. It's a lot of info. I need to come up with a better way of dumping all this info, but it really needs to be out there. So sorry that you had to sit through all of that again, for those of you who have seen it before. So what I'm going to be drawing tonight is actually it's not going to be centaurs. I'm actually been working on a concept for a long time called Ray Blaster, and the idea is basically a science fiction strip. And the name hit me. I still remember I was swimming in the pool. I was doing laps, and the name right in the middle of a lap, the name hit me, Ray Blaster. And it's okay. That's a great name. I gotta use that. And I've been working on this for years, and I should have gotten water before I started. That's what I forgot to get, was water. Oh well. So I've been trying to develop that. And another thing that I've been wanting to do is I would love to develop something for the young adult market. A lot of cartoonists have been doing books aimed at middle school to to early high school ages, and maybe some younger than that. For example, my friend Art Roach just released one. He works out. He lives in Santa Rosa, California, and he does works for Peanuts. Literally, he works for Charles Schulz, Creative Associates. Just released one. Another friend of mine, Norm Feudy, just released one called The King of Kazoo. Mark Parisi just did one called Marty Pants. So it's all trying to get into that fourth grade. No, it's not fourth grade nothing. that's fourth grade nothing. That what was her name? The Judy Blume. Was it Judy Blume that wrote Tales of Fourth Grade Nothing? But Jeff Kinney, what was the name of the book that he did? Oh gosh, this is what I get. This is what I get for doing my show prep. But Captain Underpants, things like that sort of area. And it hit, and then I had an idea the other night to maybe I could combine the two that I'm looking at, doing the science fiction and the young adult book, and take Ray Blaster and make him into that kind of thing. So what I'm going to be working on tonight is I'm actually going to be doing some character design, character development, and try to work out some character concepts for Ray Blaster as a kid's property. So here we go. Let me go back over to here and drop that down. There we go. And as you can see, I started doing a doodle here. Let me see if I can find. I thought I had one in here of. Let's see, where is it? I know I saw one when I was looking earlier. I'll show you a couple of pages out of my sketchbook here. Here's this was at Dragon. This was from Dragon Con last year. Some of these I really can't show in public. Some of the sketches that are in here, but my crow. I later expanded these into a much bigger. And I don't do caricatures, and here's the reason why. I just don't. But Frank's little piggy nose. I just love Frank's little piggy nose there. And then this was right after Gene Wilder had died. Round the world and home again. That's the sailor's way. I just love that whole speech during the. And then what was it? Oh. Yeah, I need to redo this one. This was since I'm sitting next to Bill Holbrook. It's a picture of Bethany, and she's carrying an Amiga, and of course it's an Amiga. I love computers from dead companies. I was wondering, I'd come up with an idea for this little gag for Bethany, and I trying to remember where I'd put it, and there it is. So now I know, and now I might have to redo that one. Let's see, where is... Oh, there we go. There it is. But I also want to show this one, too, before I go. Weird Al. All right, here we go. This is a Ray Blaster concept from 2015. Is there anything others in this book? Some plain brown wrapper stuff. Okay, no, that's so you can see I got in kind of a. That's design is kind of a Hanna-Barbera-ish design. There's some things here that are kind of definitely inspired by the Jetsons. This little antenna on top of his hat. One thing that I do like, I like this little thing with the hair, and I'll explain that in a moment. But so that's what I had for the original version. So as a kid, I want to try and keep some of those concepts there, and move the microphone over here so that we're in the camera, and I'm able to sketch a little bit better. So feel free to ask questions. Let's see. I see we got something here. Speaking here, so great to find all the characters. How do I keep the characters consistently drawn throughout the series? I don't. That's my dirty little secret. The question is, let me slide back over here. This is one of the disadvantages of not having it set up the way I wanted to. I got to move back and forth. James Rao asks, speaking of character designs, I know you spend a great deal of time refining all the characters that appear in the AC universe. How do you keep the characters consistently drawn throughout the series? Okay, that is a very good question. And the dirty little secret is I don't. If you were to go back and look at the very first, especially those early strips, the characters look so different from then and they do today, and they should. Otherwise, you get to be like Garfield, and it's locked in by Garfield has not evolved in terms of character design in 30 years because it is such a commercial property. They can't afford to have any changes to it. So there is a design that is rigidly enforced with Garfield. But most properties will that are creator driven are going to evolve over time. Look at Peanuts, for example. Charles Schulz was constantly evolving the character designs all the way up until the day he had to put his pen down. Charlie Brown looks vastly different in 1950 than he did in 2000. And even from something like from 1990 to 2000, there was difference in the character designs. So the characters shouldn't be consistent. They should change. They should evolve over time, and they have. There's been, for example, the way that I do the eyes. And I'm just gonna go ahead and do a little doodle here for show that when I did the eyes originally in Accidental Centaurs, they would be like this. Okay, and if the character was looking in one direction, it would be something like this. Very Peanuts-like. I mean, that's that was my original style when I started. Then I started adding, and actually these were not the top of the eyes. These were the eyebrows, basically. Then I started adding more of a with an eyebrow in order to be able to express more and more emotions. And then this evolved into something like this. And actually, when I was painting them, I would actually put a little eye glint in here, which really doesn't do very well in the pencil. And then that evolved into basically doing this in the inks, and then coming back with the colors and putting in the color of the iris, but without putting a pupil, just as a stylistic thing. So, I mean, and that's just one thing. Originally, I was drawing Sam's head was very much like this. And if you look on the very first strip, you can see her head is this oval shape, and then it has eventually evolved back, of course. And then there's Alex's hair, which is that's a whole other thing with the mullet that wasn't supposed to be a mullet, and all of that. Lenny has gone through a lot of permutations as well. So there is no consistency, and there shouldn't be. And I will find something else to change. I don't know what. As I draw, you just have these happy accidents that happen. I think the eyes came about because I had to do something where the eyes bugged out in a reaction. I was like, oh, well, you know what? If I did this, basically, and then just kind of did that. That looks a lot better. And then I would incorporate that into further and further revisions, more revisions. So when I'm developing a character, it doesn't stay static. Oh, another thing, the very first time that I drew Accidental Centaurs, Alex had the gray pelt, and Sam had the brown pelt, and in fact, there was an animation that I did very early on, of just some scenes that were just kind of action scenes, kind of a trailer, and it was up on the old Not Exactly Human site, and I think it may still be up there. It may still be up there. That was. I did it in Moho, which is now back to being called Moho. It was Anime Studio for a while, and I think in that animation, if I remember correctly, Sam has the brown pelt, and Alex has the brown one. No, a gray one. I'm pretty sure of that. Hold on a second. While I'm talking about that. So, like I said, character design should never be static. It should always be changing. It should always be evolving. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it here. Error. What error? Don't you error me, young man. We'll just go this way. So that's the truth behind character design. And like I said, when a character becomes very corporate, when it becomes when there's something like Garfield. Then it tends to get locked down, and you have characters. Well, Disney characters are another good example. A Disney character. Mickey Mouse was very fluid. It started out he didn't have we had the black spots for eyes and things like that. He only wore he didn't wear a shirt. He only wore the red shorts. It's right there. Let's see. No. Oh, wait a minute. QuickTime. Yeah, here. Okay, there it is. All right. Let me download that. Actually, this, if I can make this work, this ought to be pretty cool. This ought to be really cool because I ought to be able to do. Okay, there now. Bring it into my video software, add video files, and it's on the desktop, and it's called teaser.move. Sorry about the delay here, but this will be really cool if I get this, if this works, and it looks like it just might. Okay. All right, here we go. Well, then again, it's QuickTime. QuickTime doesn't like it, so it's got to change it into something else. So hold on, this might work. Sorry for the delay. I really would like to get this in here, and I think it would be really cool if I could. So, where's my... Okay, there that is. Now I'm going to save it. Save as. Export as. No. Cancel. Come here. Save as. Teaser converted. Put it back on the desktop. Get rid of that. Oh, let's go ahead and bring that in. Teaser converted. Now, if I do this and then this, there we go. All right. All right, here we go. Hey! Okay. Wow. That was a trip down memory lane, huh? There we are. That was a trip down memory lane. Oh man! And as you saw there was some quite a bit of old character designs. Let me see. What happened to my YouTube channel? There we are. Yeah, it was a big improvement after I learned how to draw horses. Yeah, I know. And learned how horses move. That scene of Sam galloping. Oh my gosh. Oh yikes. That was pretty bad. But there were some really cool things in there. All the backgrounds on that were done in Lightwave, so it was done in 3D. It was not done in the package, the software package Moho, because Moho is actually a 2D animation package. So that scene where Sam is kind of making the water plant gush, and the camera's tracking around it. I animated that tracking along with it. So that was actually rather a complex move. So the coolness and the great animation on that, I immediately negated with her doodly doing the Flintstone fleet down that. But the point of showing that was to show just how much character designs had changed. That was actually one of the very first things that I had done with Accidental Centaurs, and there it is. I'm now actually seeing it, and yeah, the character designs are. But there were things, and you also saw that Alex's hair was brown. I'd forgotten that his hair was brown, but his pelt was. And I don't know why I changed that. When I actually did the strip, I actually started doing the very 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 first version of it, which I started but I never finished. That was when they actually changed the colors. I changed the colors, and Alex became a redhead. But there you go. Talking about consistency or lack thereof, it should change. And you look back on those designs, and the equine anatomy notwithstanding. There's a lot of things that I wish were I made changes to and improved on. or I feel that I improved on them. So anyway, that was a nice little trip down memory lane that I wasn't anticipating going down, but there we go. So anyway, so going back to Ray Blaster, I need to hold on a second. I need to flip this over because I'm just tired of looking at, because that animation keeps playing on the video software, and it'll just be a complete distraction if I don't. So anyway, as I was saying, I was Ray Blaster, just trying to basically do a kid version of what I had before. One of the things about him was up on his head. He had this kind of weird little tuft on his hair, and I remember Bill Holbrook and I were at a show. I think it was Anthrocon, and this guy came up. I couldn't make this up, and I'd been working on Ray Blaster, and this was maybe 4 years ago or so. But we were at Anthrocon, and this guy came up, and he had a tuft of hair just like this, like an old timey 1890s handlebar mustache, except it was right up here on the widow's peak, and it was hard for me to concentrate on the conversation because I was just staring at the staring at this guy's hair. I was like, oh my gosh, that's the missing ingredient from Ray Blaster. So I've had that in there ever since, because I just think it's just this delightfully goofy looking. And I apologize to the guy if he's actually watching this. I don't remember his name or anything like that. He came. He was a fan of Bill's, but he was just. It was just this wonderful little bit of cartoon anatomy, and it was. I just said immediately as soon as the guy left, I said. Bill was, I'm sure, was thinking the same thing, because he turned to me and said, "That's the piece you're missing from Ray Blaster." I said, "Yeah, that is the piece I've been missing from Ray Blaster." So that's been kind of incorporated into every design ever since. And then he's got this kind of George Jetson like shirt on and clothes on. So I was thinking he was, he's some kind of cadet or something, a would-be space patrol, but he's still a kid, and he ends up getting involved in some kind of big space adventure. Of course, any feedback that any of you guys have, I would greatly appreciate it as I'm doing this, but you kind of get the idea here. I want him to have these big boots that look like, and actually his sole coming up over the boot like that is based on the boot protector that the Apollo astronauts wore. As part of the A7L spacesuit, he had these kind of boot protectors. The original version had this big chin, this big hero's chin, and I said big boots? Well, you know what I meant. But Another character that has this kind of thing, except hers are much longer, is Anonymous from the Watch. She has this kind of bangs thing going on up here. But this was actually inspired by this one guy at Anthrocon, which was just a walking cartoon character design. Yeah, see, I got this real hot spot right here, and I need to kind of even that out. So I'm going to move this back over here so you can actually see what I'm drawing. Still, working out glitches in the design here. And the original version was much more barrel-chested as an adult. Actually, Big Boots just made me think of Buckaroo Banzai. Big Bootay. Well, that was Christopher Lloyd. Now that I think about it, I just forgot that was Christopher Lloyd. Played John Big Bootay, which John Lithgow kept calling Big Booty. Oh, I love that movie. Let's see. I need to make. Let's see. Some kind of light diffuser. Yeah, I need to put. Well, there is a diffuser on the lights up here. What I need to do is I need to just rebuild this whole thing because it was not intended for podcasting. The lights are down way too low. They're great for drawing when I'm sitting here, but cameras are a little more picky about light, and so I want to raise the lights up, and a reflector would be nice. Always take diffuse light over bounce over direct light if you're lighting for video. So diffusing the light and bouncing it off of a reflector so it becomes much more even. And that's part of the problem. I've got a hot spot right over here, and which you can really see with the paper. You see here, it's nicely exposed down here, but I get up here and it's blown out. So, and you can also see right in here. That's the hot spot right in there, and up through here, and it's the direct light. So, yeah, I want to raise this shelf up that this light is, because the light is only about, it's about a foot off the tabletop. So there's no wonder there's a hot spot in there. So, yeah, I know, and he gets killed in that role. So, yeah, Clancy Brown played What was the name of the character? Um, what was the name of the character that he played in Buckaroo Banzai? He gets killed by one of the red Lectroids in that movie, and I can't remember what the name of the character was. It wasn't. Rawhide. Was it Rawhide? I just got a hint. Head him up. Was it Rawhide? Yeah, Rawhide. Yeah. There was yeah. I was going to say Laredo, but wasn't there somebody else named and the Blues Brothers would be embarrassed of me too. Anyway, to get back to the character design, that's supposed to be the topic for tonight. We've already wasted 45 minutes here doing this. There's another character that I really don't need a reference for because I basically use the same character. And the character, his name is Ort. And Ort is an amoeboid. So he's basically going to have a kind of just a general humanoid form. And everything else on him is a pseudopod. And the idea is he's got these eyes that are just kind of, they're organelles, so they're just kind of floating around. The original version, I had him addicted to coffee, and he could just open up a new orifice and just pour coffee in while he was, talking to you. I think he's still gonna be very biased against all eukaryotes, which means he's not going to be a happy person. See, I remember that much from biology class in high school: eukaryotes and prokaryotes. Although technically, if he's an amoeba, he is a eukaryote, but that's not funny. So, Seth MacFarlane announced this. And I really don't like mentioning Seth MacFarlane for anything. But he announced this. There's this new show that he's going to be doing. That's a live action sitcom. It's a science fiction spoof. And there's a character in there that is going to be a single cell blob. But the difference is mine will actually be funny. Well, at least it'll be funnier than Seth MacFarlane's. I'll say that. I'll put it that way. Yeah, Seth. Boy, talk about lucky. Better to be lucky than good, right? So the Ort character design really isn't going to change much from the designs that I was going to use for the adult version of this, if I go that route. So that's Ort. Named for an astronomer named Jan Oort, who is Dutch. I think he passed away. Why has my stream health gone down? What are you complaining about? Video output. Oh, now it's low. Good grief. I can't win with them. let's see. I don't think I can. I boost my stream side? My stream. Hold on a second here. Stand by. Okay. I can't change it without stopping the encoder, so we'll just muddle through. The funny thing, what I did was no, we are not going to see Rule 34 on Ray Blaster. No, we are not. We are definitely not going to see Rule 34. We got enough Rule 34 on Centaurs. Thank you very much. And certain people watching this broadcast should know that very personally, and you know who you are. But we'll leave it at that. No, I don't intend to do anything like that with Ray Blaster. I'm not going to do that. Although the original version, the original version, there was going to be a got to have the sexy space princess in there. So it's not like the original version would be. Would be a Don Orheck-esque romp, and go look him up. Great cartoonist. He's finally old enough to be the dirty old man that he's always been. But he was one of the Playboy cartoonists. Did a lot of one of Hef's favorite cartoonists for Playboy back in the 60s and the 70s. I didn't even want to go there with Accidental Centaurs. It was mainly just because I could make money doing that. And I needed to make money. That's what it boiled down to. But anyway, there was going to be a sexy space princess, and I forgot what the name for the character was going to be. I was going to call her Voluptua, and then I found out there was another character with that name. And so I came up with a name, and I can't remember what it was, but it was based on the Italian name for hourglass, as in, hourglass figure. And the idea, and it would be kind of like Daphne Zuniga's character in Spaceballs, the Druish princess. She's self-absorbed. She's more concerned about her nails than the alien hordes that are about to blast them into smithereens. She breaks a nail and she gets very mad, that sort of thing. And right in the middle of a space battle, and insists they stop so that she can go and have a mani-pedi, that sort of thing. I might have a character like that, but she's obviously not going to can't be as obviously sexual if I'm doing kids stuff. So I got you got to tread very carefully when you're making this kind of a transition. And as I said, but so I'm still trying to wrap my head around how to do that. There are ways to do that because you've got characters like that even when you're in high school and middle school. You've got girls who are self-absorbed, and it's a stereotype, it's a trope, but it's one that works. So. There was another character. There are two other characters that I need to work on. I'm going to work on, and I'll do that later because we're getting close to the time, to an hour here. There was two characters. There was a character, and that was actually two kind of a Siamese twin, and they were aliens, so they were supposed to be that way. And the character's name was Twofer, and it basically has two heads, and they're always arguing with each other, so they were kind of a comic relief character. And I had them in the original version as government bureaucrats that were going to hire Ray Blaster and Urt to help them with something. So I may have them, as a classmate or something like that. And then there was another character that was going to be a robot, and it would be kind of a spoof of R2D2, C3PO, and the robot from Lost in Space, and Robbie the robot, and Data, And that character, I was going to use the name Kuiper for that. And Kuiper is another astronomer. Oort and Kuiper actually have parts of the solar system named for them. The Kuiper belt is where the dwarf planets are at. It's where New Horizons is now. It's where Voyagers are out of the solar system, so they're not even in the solar system anymore. But I think the Pioneer 11 and Pioneer 10 are still in. No, they're in the Oort cloud. But it's where comets come from, and they get perturbed by the outer planets, and they drop into the inner solar system, and we get ones like Hale-Bopp and comets like that. Then there's the Oort cloud, which is even further out, and it's also made up of debris left over from the creation of the solar system, the formation of the solar system. And that's the Oort cloud, named, the same name as Oort here. Kuiper is the it's where the KBOs live, the Kuiper belt organisms. Yeah, the best way to advert is to subvert the trope. Well, if I'm going to subvert the trope, I want to subvert it in a way that's a different way of subverting it. So I just got to think about how to do it. And because in a way the pretty blonde that exceeds expectations and is actually smart, that's a trope in and of itself. So I just got to figure out a way to do something unique with that. The original idea for Ray Blaster was that he was kind of a dope. He was kind of goofy and kind of ineffectual and not very competent. Kind of like he was, Han Solo's ne'er-do-well brother, the one that that Han Solo has to slip 50 credits every month just to keep the lights on. So I might kind of keep that because I do kind of like the idea of the hero that's not really that competent. I always think that's kind of funny. So that's that. There's still a long way to go with Ray Blaster and this conversion. If I decide to go that route at all, I have started. I actually have some strips up. I think it's rayblastercomics.com, and there's some sample strips that I started on, and I put them up there. Just put a quick and dirty little WordPress site up. Anyway, so that's kind of it for. I think that's going to be it for the night because I'm starting to get a little sleepy. Anyway, thanks for joining. Thanks for the comments. Tomorrow night we'll move forward with this or something else. Might be Accidental Centaurs. I did get the poster suggestion about the World War II and propaganda poster, and I'm going to pull that together. Maybe be able to pull it together for tomorrow night and start working on that for tomorrow night. Congratulations, we have wasted 59 minutes. We have wasted a whole hour of this. So that's an hour of your life you're not getting back. No refunds. I hope you've enjoyed it. I know I sure have. And until next week, keep drawing. Well, not until next week. Tomorrow. Next time. There we go. Next time, keep drawing. And there we go.